Hey there, I'm Shannon, your RC princess. Welcome to my channel where we dive into all things radio controlled, crawlers, bashers, builds, and more. Whether you're new to the hobby or a seasoned pro, I'm so glad you're here. Let's have some fun and make RC magic together. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Shannon, aka the RC princess if you're new here. Today we are talking about bashing mistakes and how you can avoid them. Let's jump right in and get started with mistake number 1. A common mistake that I see a lot of people doing and that I have done myself is not choosing the right spot. Not all terrain is RC friendly. For example, a parking lot might seem like a great place to go, but some of those curves can really mess up your RC. And do not get me started about all the little rocks and pebbles that get into your drivetrain. Don't get me wrong, a parking lot is great for some RCs and also can be a lot of fun, but you just want to make sure that you're walking it first. Make sure there's no obstacles that can ruin your rig or break it or anything like that. You just want to make sure it's safe. Another example is like a dirt BMX track would be great for the low-C Pro Motos, the Arma Mojave, pretty much any of the Armas. I would definitely say a parking lot would be great for like the Traxxas Vortex, but again, those tiny little rocks can throw off everything, so you want to make sure that you have a clean, smooth surface so nothing goes wrong. So mistake number 1 is just make sure that you're choosing the right terrain for your rig, and to also just be mindful and careful and watch for dangerous obstacles like potholes or pebbles or anything like that. Mistake number 2 is not having enough practice before going big. So another huge mistake is going too big too soon. You see all these amazing content creators doing these insane jumps and flips, but what most people don't think about is how long they've actually been doing this. If you're new and trying a full throttle backflip on day 1, it's sure to end in disaster and a broken rig. What I would do personally is start small, start learning control, learn how to send it, learn how your rig works, just really learn the fundamentals of bashing. Really get a feel for mid-air control and how to fix it, and you can gradually go bigger and bigger and bigger until you yourself are also doing these insane jumps and flips. So if you find yourself mid-air and your nose is going down, you're about to lawn dart it, give it more throttle, that'll bring the nose up. And if your butt is about to hit the ground, give it a little break, and that will try to even it out. So that is the key for keeping it flat and landing it really really solid and not lawn darting it or breaking your wing. And then when you get comfortable with mid-air corrections to do a backflip, right when it leaves the ground, you give it as much gas, like full throttle, and then you have to even it back out to make sure it lands flat. And then for a front flip, you're going to hit the brakes when it goes for takeoff. The goal is to be comfortable doing these jumps and flips and things, but you just want to make sure that it's not costing your wallet too much money in correcting mistakes that if you just would have started smaller, it wouldn't have happened. The third mistake I see people making is not choosing the right basher for you. There's a lot that goes into it. What do you want to do with it? Where do you have to run it? What is your skill set? You would not give a 5-year-old an X-Max and say, have at it. Let me clarify. You wouldn't give most 5-year-olds an X-Max and say, have at it. I know I wouldn't give my son one. I'm sure there are kids out there who are amazing. That's great. For the majority, you do not want to give a 5-year-old an X-Max, Arma Fire Team, Arma Mojave, anything that's going to break somebody's leg. And then also, if you are brand new to the hobby, an 8S Outcast might not be for you. Something a little smaller and work your way to the bigger ones. The next mistake is not using the right batteries. Your RC is only as good as the battery powering it, and using the wrong one can kill your rig. Let's say your ESC is rated for 4S and you decide to throw in a 6S. That is almost a surefire way to fry your electronics, and electronics are not cheap to replace depending on what you want. And also, getting your batteries from not trustworthy sources or secondhand is also a really good way to have a bunch of problems. The only person I will use batteries from is my dad, because I know that they have been taken care of, they have been stored properly, they've had a really good life with him. Other than that, I will not take batteries from anybody else because it's just not worth it. So make sure you're sticking with trusted battery brands, and make sure you have the right voltage for your ESC's power demand. Another mistake that people typically don't do, hi, I'm guilty of it myself. You always want to inspect your rig after a run. If you think about it, bashers really take a beating, and if you're not checking parts afterwards, then the next session could be a total disaster. You're basically just setting yourself up for failure next time you want to go out and have some fun. This does not only apply to bashers, but also crawlers as well. But most of the time, bashers take more of a beating than the crawlers. I said most of the time. Depends on who's behind the wheel, I guess. So you just want to make sure that you're checking for loose screws, checking your wheel nuts, inspecting your tires and making sure that they're still in working condition. Just make sure the rig is still in proper working condition. The next mistake is not having proper gear mesh. Bad gear mesh can overheat your motor and shred your gears. If your mesh is too tight, your motor has to work overtime, which can lead to overheating, and too loose, your spur gear is getting chewed up fast. A simple fix for this is the paper trick, to just take a piece of paper, slide it between the gears and stuff, and rotate them a little bit, and you should have a perfect crinkle on the paper, and you should be able to slide it out easily. I have a video that I replaced the motor in a 24 scale, and in that video I did that trick, so I'll go ahead and link that down below if you have absolutely no clue what I'm talking about. Another mistake that can be made is lack of communication with the people around you. So this can include the group that you are bashing with, random people out enjoying their day and really do not want to have to go to the ER because they got hit in the head or they got hit in the ankle and the leg. So huge communication is very important. Make sure you're talking to everyone around you. Make sure everybody knows what everybody's doing at all times. A fun outing for everyone can end in disaster by simply just not talking to each other. How bad would you feel if you were running like the 8S Outcast and went to jump and landed it on somebody's head? It's not even funny, actually. I don't know why I'm laughing. That could have like serious consequences. So we really want to make sure that we're talking to the people around us. And also, if you're out in public, there's a chance that there's little kids and they're going to be curious, and they probably will run up and talk to you about your rig, and you just want to make sure that you're not hurting yourself or anybody else around you. And the last mistake that I have for you guys is not using thread locker in key areas. RCs vibrate a lot, even if they aren't visibly vibrating inside the different parts and stuff, they are. And also landing those jumps time after time after time, things are bound to come loose. And adding thread locker is a simple fix for that. Use blue thread locker to screw metal into metal, and then for plastic, I like to use clear nail polish. This would be a really good time also to, when you're inspecting your rig, like after a run session, just to go through, make sure everything is tight, and if something is loose, then it probably needs some thread locker. So that's a really good time. Those kind of go hand in hand. Okay, so now it's time for the honesty test. Which of these mistakes have you made? Drop it down in the comments below, and that's going to do it for today's video. If you are interested in crawling, bashing, drones, 3D printing, I do it all, so please consider subscribing to the channel and staying around for future uploads. And also, if you would be so kind as to hit that thumbs up button for me, it tells YouTube that, hey, everybody likes this video, we need to push it out to more people, and it just helps me to be able to create videos for you guys. So thank you so much, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!